My name is Aoi. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Japan and my current relationship is married for 5 years.
My name is Liana, I'm 31, I'm Chinese, Vietnamese, Australian and I'm currently single.
So my name is Talia Olatia. I am Samoan, Italian, Australian. I have a boyfriend.
My name is Amira Shah. My cultural heritage is Indian Pakistani. I have done the religious ceremony of solemnization, the nikah. So within the eyes of God and the community and other Muslims, I am considered married.
So when it comes to my parents, I laugh because they're going to watch this and I think their hearts will break a little because I think that they still do like the idea that their daughter, I have 3 brothers, so that their only girl will get married and will have kids.
It's kind of like culturally expected to get married, have children, so then the grandparents can look after the children and then the grandparents can be happy.
I have had my parents, my relatives, even friends asking me that, but I have a really good reason. I'm still doing my PhD and I don't think it's fair to have children while I am fully engaged in research.
My own parents, also my parents-in-law don't force us to have, you gotta have a kid or something like that. Not at all.
The only time that I have ever thought that maybe I should have a child is a couple of years ago. My dad said that his dream in life was to go back to Samoa with his grandchild and go swimming in the ocean where he grew up.
The misconceptions are around once we're together, once we get married, once we have the wedding, everything will be hunky-dory.
You just witness people and they're just the same as before they got married.
I think the biggest misconceptions when it comes to marriage and children is that every female wants that, and that if you don't have that, that there is something wrong with you.
So the narrative that we have through Disney and movies and media, it seems a little too superficial, glowy, sparkly.
It's kind of weird that I don't think I've ever really seen myself as someone who was going to get married or have kids. Like, I'm not the kind of person who planned my wedding. I can't tell you what my wedding dress would look like.
I do think marriage is important. I think it is important to be accountable and responsible within a certain institution.
I was on the online dating apps for a very, very long time, and it got to the point where I was just like, if this guy does not add to my life, then I'm happy to be single for the rest of my life.
I've had a 12-year relationship and I think it was way better than a lot of marriages that I've seen. And I don't think signing a piece of paper or having a ceremony would actually do anything to improve it.
I don't think I would be happier to have more children because look, I have a husband and we got a dog. So it's technically I have 2 kids already. So, well, I don't need any more. So it's more like, yeah, this is really big pressure for me, like thinking about raising up the kids to, to like little to adult.
My life is pretty good at the moment.
I think that having children might make life more fulfilling.
As an Asian, we're kind of expected to look after our parents. We have one source of income and why spend that on something that's not conceived yet and spend that on looking after our parents when they're older because they looked after us for our whole life.
I don't think kids is something that if I don't have, that I will look back on my life and be like, oh, I'm really sad that I never got to be a mother.
I did babysitting for my friend's kid, even if it was just for a few hours, like 3-4 hours or so. I got so exhausted.
So it is unlikely, at least at this stage in my life, I think, that I'll have more than one child.
I think if you have more children, your choice for your life will be more limited, like your housing or for your job or place to live or stuff like that.
I know that if we have less children, there'll be less consumers in the world and less consumption is better for the environment. But you could have like one of those I don't know, really pro-environmentalist children like Greta Thunberg, and then she could change the world.
Australia has an ageing population as well, so not having that next generation come through will cause a whole lot of problems.
It actually is really serious problem in my own country, Japan, because there's less children to pay the tax or to pay superannuation. So for example, I'm not very sure if I can get my superannuation back in future if I decide to go back to Japan.
I worry that, who's going to look after me when I'm old, but hopefully if I plan well, then I will have those provisions put into my life to make that easier for me. I will obviously look after my parents still when they get older. So I think that there are going to be challenges that are going to be faced, but I think that, if people are communicating and addressing those challenges, it is something that can be met head on.